ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final day of the 2026 Asian Games Identity V version. My name is Abstract. With me here is Moman. We have 3 series that we will get to cover for the entirety of today that will round up and end off the entirety of the group stages here.
Yeah, final day, only 3 teams from each group will make it. Group A all the way to Group C. First game we'll be watching is going to be Singapore versus Team Sri Lanka. So we do have that going, but at the end of the day, we are going to have Team Singapore going against Team Vietnam. Interesting thing is they're 3rd and 4th seed right now, so this will determine who actually gets through. Meanwhile, we will have Team China versus Team Laos in the meantime as well.
Indeed, so all we have for today here is going to be Group C matches. As such, we will have a very good idea how the Group C is going to end up shaking like. And by the end of today, that will seem as though we actually did not watch a single Hong Kong-China game.
Yeah, that's just interesting, right? We didn't get to see much of them, maybe according to the schedule. They were just going to play the concurrent games. Now, on the Group A itself, current standings, top 3, Team Korea, Team Malaysia, and Team Philippines. And it looks like they do have a lot of matches that they're going to play today as well. So it's about Team Philippines trying to get and secure that top 3 position. It feels like Team Korea and Team Malaysia are secured the playoff spot already.
Now, as of Wikipedia, what we can see is that every single one of the members from Group A has played 3 games except for Team Kyrgyzstan. So there could be quite a bit of changes between the 3rd and the 4th place, because if they win, then they will be on tie and on par with Team Philippines. Well, in the meantime, for the side of Group B, we have most of them that managed to play a total of 3 games, except for Team Tajikistan. So this is a very important thing to note, because Team Tajikistan is already above of it actually should be above of Indonesia, if I'm not wrong. It's like an either-or situation here. So Team Indonesia, they played 3 games, lost 2, won 1. So perhaps it's because of the head-to-head as well. Indonesia did manage to win a game against Tajikistan, so that's why they are above.
Yeah, they are still deciding who's going to be the 3rd and 4th today as well. So we'll find out at the end of the day who's going to go into the playoff spot. Now, this is the highlighted group of the day. We will be seeing all the matches from here today. First up, it's 4th seed versus 6th seed, right? We need Team Singapore to get more points to make sure that you get the average point containment as well. Then at the end of the day, Team Singapore versus Team Vietnam. And we're going to see the top seed go against the 5th seed, Team China and Team Laos.
So this is an important part, right? Because Team Singapore is going to go up against Team Sri Lanka. In the event that Team Singapore does not take the win against Team Sri Lanka, then Team Vietnam will automatically be able to win in the placements against Team Singapore. Because the moment Team Singapore wins, it's a 2-2, Team Vietnam will also be a 2-2. So actually, it's not much of a head-to-head anymore between the two of them, which whoever wins immediately goes to 3rd place, and that is a scary thought.
Yeah, there are a lot of games that are going to be played. So especially when you are in the group of death, when you are in Group C, it's going to be very hard because the top few teams are all inside. Very experienced team, Team Vietnam, Team Singapore with a lot of experience as well. Team China, Team Hong Kong, China as well. They are the top few.
Now, for Team Singapore, perhaps this upcoming game number 1 have absolutely low stakes, because in the end of the day, it is still going to be Team Singapore versus Team Vietnam that will make the difference. If they win against Sri Lanka in this match, then they are just looking for a game win against Team Vietnam, and there's no tiebreaker at all. While in the meantime, if they were to lose against Sri Lanka and then win against Team Vietnam, then they will go into tiebreaker against Team Vietnam and would win because of their head-to-head. So 2 very different ways to win for Team Singapore. So ultimately, game and match 1, it does have absolutely 0 stakes.
Yeah, so there we go. Team roster coming out for the side of Team Singapore. We have BCS Ang for the Hunter. We will have Z-Wave for the Hunter as well. And for the survivors, we have MGO, SW Low, ZW Earn, and also LS Sim with their coach JMU.
Yep. So far for Team Singapore, we have only managed to watch them play once. And I think that so far is looking pretty A-okay. So perhaps we'll see a little bit of differences when it comes down to them playing, because literally the very first game that we watched was them against Team China. And that, as we mentioned before, it is not a great litmus test as to how Singapore is feeling out right now and how they are at the point in time. For everyone's information, Team Singapore have played against Team China. Singapore has also played against Team Laos, which is where they got their one game won. They went against Hong Kong, China as well, which is a game loss.
And now looking at the team roster for the side of Team Sri Lanka, our little brothers of the tournament, they're coming in with the new team and only 4 members. So DS, once again, will be playing the Hunter and the Survivor. Yeah, it's the same name. It's not 2 different guys with 2 different IGNs. SU as a Survivor as well, AR and NNS. So really bare bones team, doesn't have a coach to begin with. They don't have a lot of strategies going in, but we've seen their evolution, right? We've seen DS pull out the GOAT man yesterday. We've seen him try and evolve with the Naya usage as well. Still on the listen, but
yep.
He's listening now.
He's listening now. Now, for the side of Team Sri Lanka, they have played a total of 4 games, and unfortunately, every single one of them were a loss. So this is the only and the last game that Team Sri Lanka have to go through, and it happens to be Singapore as well. So, like I mentioned, no stakes for Team Singapore, no stakes for Sri Lanka. This might very well be some kind of a show match where both teams just kind of go around and have fun. Because even when it comes down to the points, tiebreaker points, that is not gonna be possible. There won't be any tiebreaker that's gonna be past the 3rd tier. Which, for everyone's knowledge, when it comes down to the placing rule tiebreaker, is number 1, the number of wins.
Yeah.
Number 2, head-to-head, which is an either-or situation here already for Team Singapore versus Team Vietnam.
Wait a minute. I feel that Team Singapore are currently at 1-2 scoreline, right?
Yes, correct. 1-2. So even if they were to win Team Sri Lanka, if they were to lose Team Sri Lanka, it's 1-3.
Yeah, 1-3.
However, that no matter what, if Singapore win or loses this match, they still need to win Vietnam in order for them to get to 3rd place.
The head-to-head, that's where it comes in. All right, that's a very good explanation there. So, first game, no stakes. But still, we are trying to make it as fun as possible. It's Identity V. It's a game. You're trying to have fun. Arms Factory being banned out. Sacred Heart Hospital being banned out as well. And we have the Lakeside Village being picked up from the side of Team Sri Lanka.
Indeed. So here again, in Lakeside Village, it's a large map where we could see the likes of Opera Singer as well as Ivy. At a point in time, definitely, you know, Goat Man has always been very prevalent, especially in Game 1 shenanigans. However, like I mentioned before, stakes are low. There will always be possibilities where we start to see a little bit different usages of hunters coming in from Singapore if they want to try some strategies going about, especially since they are going up against Vietnam, who does not have a match today until the final game. They can very likely want to hide some strategies.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going for the playoff spot, this is the match that actually matters. So here they might be trying to theory craft, test some new strategies that they have just in case they need to pull them out. But at the same time, you want to get a clean win against Team Sri Lanka as well, just in case it boils down to the points.
But unfortunately, that wouldn't be the case for today. Like, if you're talking about like previous days, then probably that will make some differences. So if, in my honest opinion, for Team Singapore, if they would want to min-max their run and their journey against Team Vietnam, don't show your cards. Don't give Vietnam any form of information as to what hunters you can play and how do you normally draft against them.
Yeah, now we do see the character picks and bans coming out. So we will have Seer and Mechanic being banned out. Also the Anti-Korean as well. Looks like Team Singapore is playing into the first officer and the airplane is both very good in terms of mobility, kiting as well. The rescue stat very strong coming out from the side of first officer, and the kiter comes through as well. This will be the Enchantress. So now for that final ban, we do have I believe that is
prisoner.
Yeah, the prisoner being manned down.
Yep, and does seem as though Singapore is trying to focus and go down with the lucky guy for the final pick. This is a very kite-heavy composition. In fact, probably one of the very few and very strong kiters of their own archetypes, with the first officer being the strongest kiters of the rescuers. While in the meantime, aeroplanists as well as the enchantress, they are all equally as strong. At least they will still have some openings to use, such as the aeroplanist, such as the antiquarian as well as the archer, if they want to go more that direction in game number 2.
Yeah, technically, Lakeside Village is a map that is extremely large when it comes down to the map size as well. So it does favor the survivors just a little bit, right? Because when you talk about the hunters in the starting, they won't have that much of a movement speed, barring maybe the opera singer, barring maybe Ivy, Hullabaloo as well. But that is only when you go for the rescue as well. Those rotational differences across the map, the long rotations can make it difficult. But with such a strong character pick, such as First Officer and Aeroplanist, this makes the rotation much more, smaller.
Now, we are gonna be going back at it again for the Naiad. So, as we mentioned before, right? Time and time again, right? DS has been playing the Naiad, and I think that he has been really trying very hard as a Naiad to kind of learn things out. One of the most important things that he gotta have to understand is that Naiad in the early stages where he has low presence, he doesn't really have a lot of ways to connect the hits. As such, going for Listen Naiad is going to be really difficult for him to do anything. You'll want to find assistance in order for you to scale over to half to full presence. As such, any mobility spells is ultimately going to be a lot more useful.
Yeah, and we've seen DS play on both Survivor and also Hunter as well, right? And I believe he is much more of a better Survivor player than a Hunter player,
Indeed.
I would say.
He's a really good rescuer within the midst of his team. So whenever in doubt, if anyone were to be knocked down or strapped over to the chair, normally you will always see that DS is going to be the dedicated rescuer of the team, while the rest kind of goes on for the decoding. Although we definitely saw a little bit of downtime coming in from the decoders themselves, or the ones that usually run far away, and I think that is where the weakness of the team lies upon. But perhaps we can talk a little bit more about their survivor roles later on when they are actually in a survivor role.
Yeah, so 4 members of Team Singapore all spread out across the map playing a diagonal setup with all very strong transitional kites. Audience effect is in play. We have 2 tide turners coming out from the aeroplanist and also the first officer as expected. They all will be the dedicated rescuers. And meanwhile, for the side of DS, he goes for Hunter's Instinct, detention into the trump card as well. So he does have the ability to slow down the ciphers at the start. That is something new coming out from DS.
Now, in the meantime, for the survivors, double tide turner, double Weber's Law, everyone with the acid path, understandably, with a single hand on healing, if I recall correctly, and a couple of those audience effects as well. So perhaps we could have a pretty nice game coming in from Team Singapore. We'll see how are they gonna be kiting and how are they gonna be reacting to the to DS onto Naiad.
Oh, he didn't go for that. Okay, he went for Giant Claw instead. So yeah, that Giant Claw is actually more of the struggling against the balloons. So that's a trait that I don't really see often. Now, first target, first kite already onto Low, but now with Low having that lucky guy item, managed to kite the first kite really well against DS. And now not having that destructiveness, not having that movement speed, still on that listen, right? No dash, no blink, no nothing, no movement capability, no teleport as well, not even for the late game. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see whether he gets that early game presence.
Yep. Now, Lucky Guy is going to be the one very likely to be the unlucky guy and be the one that's constantly going to be in the face of the Naiad. Now, do take note of the item that he wished for. be it intentional or non-intentional, he did manage to pick up a flashlight for himself. As such, he's going to be in very close proximity with the Naiad as much as possible if, you know, the situation arises, right? So playing around the pallets is ultimately super important, but DS doesn't seem he's too particularly interested in the lucky guy at this point. So he's actually rushing straight on over to the first officer, which is actually not what you want to do as a Naiad.
Yeah, the pallet drop comes in from the side of ZW. At the same time, that was the 79% decode, but they are already done with 2 at the start at 144. And this is a very pallet dense area, so he can kite, juke, and jive for ZW if he wishes. The first officer still going at it, not even forcing to use the item, now finally pops it. But DS, he needs to be aware that first officer...
Oh, he doesn't really quite understand the ability of first officer. So at least for DS, I think that he's really trying to chase on to that decoy that the first officer makes for himself, and he's not really very sure that the real first officer will be a few seconds ahead of what he's seeing right now.
Yeah, so he needs to understand that time frame between the first officer decoy and the first officer himself. That's why we see stronger hunters, right? Natural hunter players, they would be slightly ahead and trying to hit that cone area ahead of that survivor as well. Now throwing the harpoon does go for that dash, but lucky guy is still in this pallet dense area. He can play around the vault, and the pallet hit does come through. But look at the decode speed coming through from the side of Team Singapore. They already are going to have that 4th decode underway with the 5th at 83%.
Very much primed ciphers right now, 88%, and slowly climbing. And that will make all 5 ciphers available for Team Singapore to complete, which will now open the exit gates. They can actually go straight into activate, and in fact, all 2 of them will already position themselves in a way whereby both of them can be decoded immediately upon 5 cipher activation.
Yeah, now 75%, and this looks like it's going to be a very clean game coming out from the side of Team Singapore.
Yep.
But slight improvement, right? Seeing the Hunter going for much more targets. We see DS on the first day, not even so far touching a bit of the survivors. But today, at least, yeah, there is a bit of a containment play. We see a bit of a kiting play, but at the same time, you can see the skill difference, the stark skill difference between someone much more experienced, such as Team Singapore, and newer players coming into the pro scene.
Indeed. Now, it's also understandable that there are a bunch of characters and survivors that we need to take note of, and not only because of, you know, their individual stats and what they are good at, they still have tools that we need to talk about. Every single one of these survivors have a unique tool attached to them, and you also need to learn about these tools. So we pretty much understand that as a inexperienced player, a relatively new player, there's way too much tools to understand. So I don't even blame DS for not really quite understanding how the Poseidon Watch works out right now.
Yeah, I mean, that watch capability, first officer, generally you do see it used quite an often bit, right? Where the first officer goes invisible, and then he leaves that delayed clone right behind him. And usually what we do see the Hunter players go for is they are going to try and find where that actual body of the first officer is.
Indeed.
And the first officer is forced to kite left and right, and then you need to tell that from the clone as well.
Indeed. So this is actually a situation where, as a Naiad, is actually not too horrible dealing with dealing against the first officer. You don't particularly have a very good mobility to actually, you know, scout around where the decoy is, but you will be able to make it close to like a 50-50 in some sense because of the area denial that a Naiad is able to bring on to the mix. Because one thing that we know for Naiad is that Naiad is able to force positionings coming in from the survivors, and it makes them kind of restricted, especially in a place such as the Arms Factory, and in this case, even when it comes down to Lakeside Village, you know, Naiad comes in pretty okay, if you ask me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, but the ability that he chose for himself is to listen, right?
Yes.
So he does not have that movement capability, and that movement capability really does help when it comes down to Nayat as well, because you get to spread that humidity way more. You get to spread that moisture on the floor, right? You see the water markings on the floor. If you can move more, you can slow down the survivors even more. And yeah, with Listen, you do know where the survivors are, but it doesn't help that you don't get that first few hits down. And looking at the decode speeds coming through from the side of Singapore, it was extremely fast. Containment done by both the Lucky Guy and the first officer. Only at 160 seconds, and the decode was done already.
Yep, so we gotta have to say that Team Singapore, they went straight in for the ciphers, and they took no time at all. Unfortunately for DS, he was going straight up onto the first officer, and in fact, you can see that the Lucky Guy had like 59 seconds contained, but that 59 seconds is not exactly true, because what happens is that the Nayat actually didn't quite chase the Lucky Guy, more of the other way around. I feel that the Lucky Guy was the one that's kind of tailing the Nayat.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, Lucky Guy had that flashlight, right?
Yes.
He wanted to use that stun capability early on in the game and force the first kite, because he still had that secondary item, which is the Euphoria. So yes, if he had that movement capability, yeah, he picked up Euphoria as well. So if he had that ability to chase him down, he was just limit testing at that point. If he does get a hit through, the Euphoria would have been popped, and then suddenly it would have been even much more of a kite.
Yep, so it's kind of like judging distances for the side of Lucky Guy. But regardless, we do have the first half that is completed. We will go for a switch of rule, and now Team Sri Lanka will be the survivors and Team Singapore will be on to the hunters. Now the question is if whether Team Singapore will try to go for something unorthodox when it comes down to the hunters and try to do something completely new, or something that we don't really see in the meta all that much, or are they going to give full out respect over to Sri Lanka and just show their hands? Although I'm not particularly happy, or I'm not particularly interested in seeing them showing their hands, because their real raid boss is at the later stages of the day.
At this point, I would say, given the fact that you have that round one advantage of using that Goatman and also using all the survivors that are capable, you do know that there's a certain number that the enemy can only ban out. So you still go with whatever you're familiar with. You want to practice these strategies. You take the time right now to practice. So whatever you're going with Team Vietnam, maybe it's not even the same map, because they might have different map vetoes as well.
Right.
And there are different strategies coming out for different maps. So right now we do see, once again, the bans coming out. It will be Seer in Mechanic for the side of Team Singapore.
Now, this is for Team Sri Lanka. They absolutely love to use the Mind's Eye over here. But the last time that we saw the Mind's Eye, they did not fully utilize the Mind's Eye because it didn't really quite go on a decoding spree. So I think that that is a problem, at least in the previous game. So as much as possible, they need to stick to it. They need to stick to that very specific playstyle if that is the way that they want to go for.
Yeah, Mind's Eye, and I believe that is the Prisoner as well. So double decode, they want to go for that Cypher Rush. Last time we saw they weren't too successful, and once again, the Escapologist. So they are trying to learn these characters, I would feel, and they're trying to learn what a Cypher Rush really feels like, right? How fast the Cypher Rush can actually go. You see the speeds at which Team Malaysia, Team China, Team Singapore, a lot of the stronger teams, Team Hong Kong, China, even Team Chinese Taipei, their decode speeds for the first 3 ciphers is usually done before that first 3 minutes. So that's the speed that you're trying to aim for. And the Doctor pick as well, strong in this current patch, but sadly we're playing in a previous batch without the medical boost.
Now, of course, as we move on with this, we have all 4 of the survivors that has already been picked. The Mind's Eye, Prisoner, Escapologist, and the Doctor. We are left with the last one, and that is going to be the Hunter himself. BCS Ang, he's got something in his sleeves for sure, as he's taking a little bit of time to really understand what exactly is going to be the Hunter that he is looking for here.
Yeah, the big 4's definitely available, but look at that. Oh, okay, he goes for the Wuchang instead. Yeah, I thought he might go for the Geisha because he was shadowing the Geisha, but he does go for the Wuchang instead. So yeah, he's not going with something that he's familiar with. It's going to be the Black Guard and the White Guard coming through from the side of BCS Ang.
Okay, so this is effectively our second Wuchang into the entirety of AGQ thus far, and this is a Hunter that have technically global presence, as you kind of split yourself into 2 in some sense, as a Black Guard or a White Guard. Very good pressure from all across the map that really enables you a very flexible chase style and really good for Cypher interruption, and coming into a kind of decode rush kind of thing from the side of, or rather Cypher rush thing, coming from the Sri Lanka side with the Mind's Eye and the Prisoner. I would say that the Wuchang is a pretty good pick.
Yeah, we see the spawn selections coming through on Lakeside Village. Once again, very big map, right? You want to have excellent mobility, excellent control. Surprising that he didn't go for the top 4, but we're going to have the treat here. We're going to have that Wuchang coming out from side of BCS Ang. And really, I would say Team Sri Lanka are the new boys coming into Identity V. They are still learning a lot more about Identity V, ladies and gentlemen. They are still extremely new to the game. Possibly we're seeing the first iteration of this kind of development in their esports community. So also at the same time, it's about making them feel welcome as much as possible, making them feel at home at Identity V as they still develop.
Now, of course, we still have to put it out there for everyone once again. As for Team Singapore, if picking non-meta hunters is actually to be as expected against Sri Lanka because of the way that the standings work right now. This match have 0 stakes. If they were to win or if they were to lose against Sri Lanka, the state still remains that they have to secure a win against Vietnam at the final game in order for them to proceed to the main stage. As such, not to give any information regarding their Hunter's pick, their Hunter stuff, anything that's Hunters related is actually the smarter way to go.
I would think that at this point, Team Sri Lanka should have been picking all these audience effects, right? Because you know that the Hunters that you're playing against will definitely get one of your survivors on the rocket chair.
Yep.
So that audience effect would have been so good, but looking at BCS Ang going on that Wuchang, Team Singapore already on the hunt, first 9 seconds into the game, and only 2 ciphers activated so far. On the chase onto the Mind's Eye. The best possible target that he could have gotten at the start, and already getting an instant damage.
Yep, 1 hit onto the Mind's Eye. Unfortunately, it does seem like Stu was not able to do a pallet drop onto the Wuchang at this point in time. But regardless, it is going to be a quick little umbrella teleport coming in from the side of Wuchang, and we'll put him right next to the Mind's Eye to enable the second hit.
He did go for confined space. So yeah, that is ability to block off a window. So very interesting choice coming out from the side of Ang, expecting some window vaults coming through. But now on that second target, GS will be the victim of choice.
Now, right off the bat, we can pretty much expect to see quite a bit of powerhouses, at least from the powerhouse plays from the side of this Wuchang. We don't see the Wuchang a lot, as I mentioned before, but I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to see a pretty good play from Ang for today, as the Mind's Eye is already strapped over to a rocket chair, while in the meantime, Doctor just went into.
Yeah, we saw a sub 2 yesterday coming out from the side of Team Malaysia, if I'm not wrong. No, Team China, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Should be Team China, yeah.
Yeah, sub 2 coming out from Team China. So whether or not he can beat that high score, that's a fun little game that he can try and play for himself right now. AR on the run on the apologist, not juking with the smoke screen. Run straight. That's not what you want to do. And actually there's two layers, right? You want to play around the edges, you want to play around the obstacles as much as possible. Now AR gets caught, Mind's Eye already out. It's going to be a 3v1. It's at 1:59, 2 minutes now. Does not get that sub 2 elimination, but at the same time, Prisoner is the only one alive right now.
And at this point, it's just going to be an announcement that will be on the chopping block. Prisoner makes a quick run for it, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to be all that easy, as there's going to be another stab right over to the Prisoner, and that is going to be enough to strap him on over to the rocket chair, and there is absolutely nothing much that the members from Team Sri Lanka is able to do.
True to form, Team Singapore just clean it out extremely fast. Merciless, surgical, and right now it's raining. So definitely at Resorts World Sentosa, it's raining right now. So you play the Wu Chang, you get the umbrella out, protect yourself from the rain. Very fitting of the theme.
Very fitting. Well, of course, the Infinite Nirvana was used a couple of times before, and that will be the main reason and the main way that Wu Chang is able to close up the gaps between him and the survivors. So, great to see a Wu Chang here again. Albeit we didn't really quite manage to see too much out of the Wu Chang, such as a max presence Wu Chang or how a Wu Chang is normally going to be played. But regardless, I think that he's only been onto the wide guard the whole time, right? I don't think he swapped, right?
Yeah, he did swap.
Oh, he did swap.
He
He did swap. Okay.
He did swap a few times, so yeah, he was having fun, but after he swapped over to the Blackguard, he wanted to just stay on the Blackguard the entire time. And
Oh, was it?
Yeah, just
He ended up as a Blackguard?
Yeah, he ended as a Blackguard.
Oh, I got a
This is
little
by,
bit of
you can tell
PTSD.
by the hair, the color of the hair.
I completely forgot it. I thought I was seeing a white hair the whole time. But regardless, it is currently a 5-5 in favor for Team Singapore. So a total of 10 points for them. That will be a game 1 won by Team Singapore. We'll be going back on over to the drawing board again, and we will be redoing the map vetoes. And this time at game number 2, both the survivors, either from Singapore or Sri Lanka, they will have a single slot to ban for the Hunter.
Yeah, looking at the match stats coming through, decoding progress, the Mind's Eye, the Prime Decoder, not able to get on the Cypher at all, but is expected coming out from the side of Team Singapore, where they will have way more experience compared to Team Sri Lanka. And really, for Team Sri Lanka, very good try, I would say. They want to experiment with this rush. We've been seeing them trying to experiment again and again, but it's not going to work against an experienced team such as possibly Team Vietnam, Team Singapore, where they will be playing off in the Series 3 later.
Indeed. In fact, when it comes down to the survivors hit, actually this is kind of min-maxed coming in from Ang already. This is the minimum amount that you would need to knock down every single one of the survivors in here. So no rescues coming in from any of these members, no time at all when it comes down to the exit path. You didn't have to waste any extra time. That's the fastest probably that you can do as a Wu Chang.
Yeah, that's probably the fastest.
Probably. We could be proven wrong. It
could be slightly faster. We did have a sub 2 from Sun Le, right? From BQ.
Was it playing Bonbon for that one?
BQ.
Oh, it was the BQ. BQ was the fastest.
Yeah, sub 2.
Okay. I remember the Bonbon was pretty fast as well.
Yeah, but speaking of fast, we will be right fast with you after the break. We're going for a short little break, and we will come back with you at game 2. See you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again, back over to game number 2 where we last left off. Team Sri Lanka versus Team Singapore, it went in a 10-0 scoreline, and unfortunately, once again, we do have got Sri Lanka in a really difficult spot. Last played the Listen Naiad, but unfortunately, he would not be able to play the Naiad anymore. So hopefully, we'll be able to see something a little bit different. Not hopefully, but we will be able to see something a little bit different coming in from DS as the Hunters coming up for game number 2.
Yeah, tough spot right now for Team Sri Lanka, but they are aware of the fact that they are not going to the playoffs already, right? They're currently sitting at the bottom of Group C. There's no way for them to get enough wins or get enough points. So they're just out here to give their all, have fun. And this match 1, there's really no stakes involved as well for both Team Singapore and Team Sri Lanka. So Identity V is really just a game about having fun. We were playing Identity V ourselves a bit just now, and yeah, it's a really fun game.
Yep, but unfortunately, due to I think it's probably from my ISP, completely lagged out of my mind, wasn't able to do anything. First one out as the unlucky guy, of course. It's always the unlucky guy.
Yeah, I took the dungeon and I had to escape because my partner couldn't make it as the lucky guy.
And it's unfortunate, right? I gotta do my job. I gotta do my job and do whatever that I can. Clearly, to be strapped onto the chair 3 times. Yeah, that's my job.
Yeah, getting strapped onto the chair 3 times. And that's exactly what's going on with Team Sri Lanka right now. They've been getting strapped onto the chair again and again as they go against much more experienced team than them. You can see that even in the brackets itself, Team Laos is not an easy walkover. We saw from that match yesterday, right? Team Laos versus Team Vietnam. It was a nail biter down to the last few eliminations, and we can see how close in terms of experience Group C actually is. Only Team China and Team Hong Kong China way ahead of the pack, but really at the middle, they're fighting for that 3rd spot.
Understandably, Team Vietnam definitely looks really strong on paper. And the way that we saw them play yesterday, there was no wasted movements at all. I would say that whatever they picked was super meta. The way that they play as a survivor as well as the Hunters all each, they knew definitely what they were trying to do and what they were doing all together. Now regardless, we're going to be moving right into game number 2's first half as to what is going to be the map picks. We do have the Moonlit Riverbank that will be banned by Sri Lanka and then picked by Singapore here in Chinatown, where Sri Lanka have decided to pick survivors, leaving Singapore to play as the Hunters first.
Yeah, so very interesting turn of events here. Singapore will be going on that Hunter side first. So first game of the day, we saw the Wu Chang coming out. We might see even more Hunters, non-meta Hunters coming out from the side of Team Singapore, because the side, we are just trying to have fun, right? We game match 1, there's no stakes involved. There's nothing involved. If you win, if you lose, it still boils down to match number 3, whether or not you take that top 3 slot. But looking at the bans, it looks all serious here. As we go for that mechanic ban, and I believe that it's a priestess ban as well, and also the goat man being banned out. So there's a seer and coordinator pick coming out from Team Sri Lanka.
That's looking good. Now, of course, there are a plethora of Hunters that we can always ask for, and we can always be like, okay, we want to see this, we want to see that. However, that's way too much. So, personally, maybe a Hermit, maybe? I don't know. Dream Witch, maybe. But anyways, we do have the coordinators here as well as the Pharaoh Lady that have just been picked up. We continue with the Embalmer ban from Ang, and we do have one last ban that is currently waiting to hit the sack, and that also will be the Gravekeeper.
Yeah, Gravekeeper and Embalmer, very good combo, I would say, but not really the Embalmer so much as we see in this patch right now. But the lucky guy pick being coming out from the side of Team Sri Lanka, it looks like they are taking a playbook out of Team Malaysia or Team China, but with the replacement of the Seer, right? Very good information. The all usage timing is very good as well. That's why the Seer is one of the top few bans. And let's just see how Team Sri Lanka learns how to utilize this as well. And they have a very strong decode with the Pharaoh Lady, with the stealth ability as well. Lucky guy, very versatile. Now, for the side of Ang, he can pick the opera singer here in Chinatown if he wants to go with the top pick.
Yep, only if he wants to go for top pick. But the showing of Wu Chang previously would suggest that they want to play something that is off meta and something that will not ever appear within of their own gameplay. As such, it does seem like the Solar Weaver will be the pickup over here, so that's gonna be fun to see.
Soul Weaver in Chinatown. Wow, really against Team Sri Lanka, right? It's where you get to see all these unorthodox hunters coming out. We saw yesterday, we saw Guard 26, we saw Fool's Gold. Today we saw Wu Chang. Now we saw the Soul Weaver as well.
So this is where, as much as possible, a Soul Weaver wants to restrict movements as much as possible. This enables fast chase acceleration for the side of the Soul Weaver, and this is a very campy style, maybe not exactly campy style kind of hunter, more of chase, or I think control is a better word. Being able to control where the survivors eventually run to, you can control where they go, and this is where things will start to get a little bit more fun, because as a Soul Weaver, you actually need to understand your web economy. So as much as possible, you need to know where you place it and when you place it.
Yeah, the web placement is very important to just play with the loop points, play with all that.
All the choke points
yeah,
and all.
all the choke points and everything. Especially in a map such as where there are a lot of loops, there are a lot of powerhouses available, especially on the outside. And you can also play on the second floor as well, right? We saw a very good second floor play coming out yesterday as well. And we did see that both pallets were used on both sides. So whether or not he goes for the destructiveness to pair with the webs, or does he go for that full chase potential? And now looking at the spawn selection coming out from the side of Team Sri Lanka versus Team Singapore, it seems as if the hunter is spawning on the top right side, and meanwhile they are going throughout the center of the map. And yes, we do see the destructiveness, we do see the hunter's instinct, Berserker is there as well, detention, and also the trump card. So yeah, pretty solid build coming out from the side of BCS Ang, and it really pairs well with the webs and the ability to break down the pallets as well.
Now, one thing that I hate the most is gonna be spiders, and that definitely does not run away from me here in Identity V as well. But regardless, this is where I want to see how crazy this game can be as
Yeah. Even the skin makes it look nicer, but it's still a spider.
But really anything that has more than 2 legs and 2 hands will kind of creep me off.
Yeah, here we go. Already finding its first target here. Gets a solid hit onto NNS as he goes in, and a pallet drop.
Solid pallet drop.
Yeah, coming out from side of NNS, Team Sri Lanka, learning how to finally get those pallet hits. But now, first 35 seconds, gets that hit in. Tier 1 presence already up, straps someone onto that rocket chair. Still 10 seconds away from trying to jump towards that next target.
A little bit too big to be hiding behind these diner chairs, Ang. A little bit too big, buddy. But right now, what he's going to do is, seems like he's going to go for a little bit of a campy play coming from himself, and not exactly rushing into the other survivors. But what he sees here is going to be a single lucky guy. Is it played by DS? Yep, it is played by DS, because he's always going to be the one that goes in for the rescue. But he does not have the tide turner, and he was that close to being able to go for that rescue onto that seer. And unfortunately, that will mean that we have 2 of the survivors that is going to be strapped on.
Yeah, it's a double down scenario without the tide turner as well. And as a lucky guy, you don't have any items. That's just not a good look, right? You don't have any items to help them out as well. Coordinator still has that flare gun available. And Feral Ladies, they are still decoding. But 1 minute and 44 seconds in, not even one Cypher close to completion. Yeah, there's one, 91%. But one Cypher with 2 survivors left on the map with the seer already out. That owl is very handy in terms of saving you, and not being able to utilize it right now is going to be very hard game for Team Sri Lanka. But, well, we got to see the Soul Weaver.
At least we got to see the sweet Soul Weaver, you're right. A little bit too bright, a little bit way too bright for my liking though. It really sticks up like a sore thumb. But regardless, a little bit of webbing going on. Gets a hit down onto Su, and he's gonna pick up onto that chase. And do note that Su will have slower movement speed as being interacted by that web. So it's a matter of time before Ang will eventually reach the Pharaoh Lady. As such, he will strap Pharaoh Lady onto the balloons. So far, we haven't quite seen Ang go for the cocoon at any point in time just yet.
Yeah, now we have teleport available. Yes, does straight away teleport. And that was a big game here. Sub 3-minute game coming out from the side of Team Singapore. Wait a minute.
Lucky guy managed to run away.
Lucky guy managed to run away. Yep. Yeah, so there's another hidden factor, right? DS, the main rescuer of the game, going for the save onto SU. What can Team Sri Lanka do as DS? Well,
is it possible?
You're running away from a spider. This is the most horror can get.
Okay, going through a couple of these webs, and unfortunately, the movement speed coming from these webs are a little bit too much for this lucky guy to work with. Didn't even use a single cocoon, to be fairly honest, but here we go. That is every single one of the survivors coming from the side of Sri Lanka that will fly up into the sky.
Yeah, very fast, quick and easy. 3 minutes, 30-second game coming out from the side of BCS. Having fun with the Soul Weaver. Well, we're just glad that he pulled it out at this stage where there's no pressure, there's no stakes. He doesn't need to show what he's capable of, right? You don't need to show all your Goatman moves. You don't need to show that, yeah, you have the Ivy in your lock as well.
No, you don't have to.
You have the Hullabaloo. No, you don't.
No. Don't show anything. Right now, Vietnam is eagerly watching. And they're probably cutting me out right now. Like, well, damn, why would you tell them to do that? We want to see them play properly. It's just gotta, take some information here and there. But hey, in the end of the day, the players can't even hear us. So they know exactly what they're doing. Their coaches know what to do because, hey, they're the coaches. They know exactly whether there are stakes involved or not and what will be the relevant move going up ahead as to what they gotta have to do in order to secure a better chance of victory to be, seeded into the main event of the Aichi Nagoya Asian Games 2026.
Yeah, the main point of the event, Group A, Group B, Group C, 3 teams are going to make it to the playoffs, to the main event in Aichi Nagoya as well. And this is only one of the titles that we are having here.
Only one of them.
Yeah, at the Asian Games. So now, for Team Singapore, we do have another 5 points lead in that first half. Now, Team Sri Lanka on that hunter, right? The last time they were at Chinatown, didn't look too good. Smiling face coming out without a dash, no dash capability. Let's see how he has evolved this time, right? DS, he showed constant improvement. He tried out the Goatman as well.
Yep. He
tried out using the Dominion cages, but looking at BCS stats again, very clean with remaining ciphers. 4 does not beat Sunless score of remaining ciphers being 5. But still a very good score line and 5 survivors eliminated. So Team Sri Lanka, well done to you guys. The decode speed was way better. I would say they are learning how to decode rush slowly. If they had a much better composition for kiting as well.
Indeed.
Yeah, they would start to learn how to just strategize around the game, strategize around better players.
I think the other thing that they could walk away from all of these are to be a little, don't be too frugal with using your tools. I think that one thing that Sri Lanka does not do that well is that they tend to want to keep the tools for when it's absolutely necessary. But unfortunately, that time never came because the hunter will always give them quite a bit of a surprise. And even when there's a flare gun, you'll want to be like, okay, I want to at least be hit once. I want to be on a near-death situation before I actually unleash the flare gun onto the hunters, which in most cases, that never happened. Where for AR, we could say the same thing for him. The lucky guy, I don't think that he managed to ravage any of the chests in order to, make full use of his traits.
Yeah, it boils down to map knowledge as well, right? Knowing where the chest spawns are, knowing where you are going to get the items as well. And also at the same time, yes, very good point about the item usage. I would say use them early, especially when the hunter's presence is still at tier 0. It's better not to get hit at the start and let him build the snowball. Even on any single hunter, right? Tier 1 presence, Tier 2 presence, it becomes a much bigger snowball effect. So
Indeed.
if you can avoid getting hit, that first kite becomes very, very pivotal.
Indeed. So at least giving the hunter one hit is not so bad. But anything from that point onwards, you will want to mitigate as much as possible. And that is why the Kiters naturally will try to do their very best to prevent the hunters to reach tier 1 presence. Because tier 0 presence is where they are the weakest. And you want to keep the hunters at their weakest for as long as possible. Because it's only a matter of time, right? It's only a matter of time for the hunters to reach you as a full presence hunter.
Yeah, first kite, first containment play, I would say very important coming through. But very glad to see the Soul Weaver coming out. We did see Soul Weaver, Wu Chang as well. Yesterday we got a Tree Guard 26, we got Fool's Gold, we got Bloody Queen coming out from the side of Sunla.
Oh man, you remember them all.
Yeah, so we are going to probably have more. We saw the Disciple coming out from the side of Sri Lanka as well, right?
I think Dream Witch was played as well.
Dream Witch was played as well.
Yep. So a lot of unique number of hunters. If right off the bat, right, we're looking at Disciple, Dream Witch, Naiad, Goatman. I don't exactly remember if they played anything else from this point onwards and how that is going to look like eventually. But hey, regardless, I think that they should be able to do a decent job coming in for this upcoming game.
You know what we saw yesterday as well? The Violinist.
Oh, right, Violinist.
Yeah, that was insane, right? We don't generally see the Violinist, and he had the gold violin as well. So now, with the bans coming through, the mechanics and the Seer being banned out, the Goatman will be the ban of choice here. And for Team Singapore, it seems like a Mercenary and a Priestess pick. Not really good. Top, but it's still very good.
Yep. It's still pretty good, not the most meta ones, but in terms of this old patch, if we're talking about this old patch back then in November, right? Because this is a November patch. But articles that come out about this patch on December, they were really loudly hailing for Priestess. And this could be more on the rank plays rather than competitive play though. So rank plays and competitive play, they are close, but they are never overlapping. But it's still fair to say that Priestess is still pretty good. Regardless, Mercenary, Priestess, as well as Archer and the Lawyer pickup coming from Team Singapore.
Yeah. So the Lawyer will be coming through. So they have a lot of map presence. They have a lot of map control. Lawyer really good at just revealing the map locations, right? If you don't know where the ciphers are, yeah, Lawyer is really good at that. So if you're starting out in the game, the Lawyer really reveals where the map points are, the map objectives are as well. And now for DS, what hunter will he pick up right now?
So he can't use Naiad, he can't use the Goatman as well. So this is where we want to see a new, unique hunter being picked up by DS. Something of a little bit of maybe a little bit on the easier side, or something that is more fresh for everyone perhaps as well. Not too much of a high mechanics hunter probably.
Yeah, so there is a very good decode speed coming out from the side of Team Singapore, right?
Yep.
You will see them maybe spawn selection. They put opposite side of the maps. They're gonna play cross map for sure, given the fact that they do have that Priestess available, that ability to spawn portals as well. So now the Lawyer, with the effect of the Priestess, having that cross map play. Now this is an interesting pick coming out. The Gamekeeper, aka the Noob Killer, that guy is being used by so many people in quick play just to style on the survivors early at the start.
Yep, it does have very strong catch potential and pretty much a anti-transition pressure kind of hunter at this point in time. And I gotta have to say that you gotta have to do good hooks, right? This is all about, at least in the early presence point, we're mostly looking at skill shots, right? Skill shots from Gamekeeper, and he does have problems around obstacles though. So we'll see whether he will be able to do anything. And Gamekeeper is actually relatively similar to Naiad to a certain extent, you know, kind of throwing the harpoon versus throwing the hook. Same thing.
Yeah, there is that possibility there. And yeah, they're not going for cross-map pressure. They are going with the same similar spawns all the way throughout the center. So you do see the Archer and the Mercenary being in the face of that Hunter as well. That's where the first kite is going to come in. And the Lawyer being placed very far away from where the Hunter will be most likely spawning. And also for the side of the Priestess, the ability to create that portal might be used to create a lot of cross-map pressure, especially for Gamekeeper that does not have the ability to traverse that rotation throughout these maps.
We shall see how this Gamekeeper is gonna give us the game. Well, now we're gonna be taking a look at the talent trade as well. Titanus should be 2 right now. I actually don't see any other Titanus except for the Mercenary, which is pretty fun and interesting. But other than that, as it par for everyone, Doctor and Healing, a couple, it doesn't seem like anyone got picked up Healing, but there is a, sorry, no one picked up Doctor, but some of them picked up Healing over here, with a couple of knee-jerk reflex, as well as flywheel reflex, flywheel effect. Didn't really quite see the flywheel effect actually, but regardless, you guys, oh, okay, 1% does, Archer does have the flywheel effect.
Yeah, very good for that kiting. Very good for that first kite as well. Now 2 Cyphers already straight off that mark being spotted out. And Priestess going for that setup for that portal as well. You can see him playing across that cross map. DS, does he get a early game first hook here?
This is all reliant on the hook, man.
Yeah, going for the Lawyer, which is kind of the best target for him. Not so that bad.
Yep, we'll see if whether Rudolph will be able to do anything right now, right? Does he have a very funny nose though? He does. He does have a funny nose.
Yeah, he does.
That's how the song goes, right?
Yeah.
Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer have a really funny nose.
I guess so. I'm not too sure, but
at least... wait, no, it's really shiny nose. Oops.
The interesting thing is he didn't pick up Listen anymore. He's learning, he's using the gate, he's using the warp.
Okay, that's something new. Even though you don't exactly, okay, it's still really good. But this is one of the hunters that actually does have mobility, where you can throw a hook to an obstacle and you can reel yourself towards it. So, probably one of the hunters that uses that can actually use Listen. Actually,
it's actually okay.
It's actually okay to actually play Listen for the Gamekeeper, in my honest opinion. You do have traversal ways. You do have problems with a turning around corners. So Blink is fine, dashes are fine as well. Listen is just so that you will be able to get more chances with your hooks.
Yeah, we're watching decode simulator here, right? Because the decodes are already done, 50% primed at least for 4, and the 5th one is already at the 30% mark at 2 minutes in. So he's going to be on the Mercenary. Oh, the hook not exactly latching onto the target, but playing a very good game. With that Iron Dash, he still has that ability 2 more times. This is a very powerful area. He can actually play around if he wants. He sets up the gate super early here for DS as he's trying to follow a trail, and the teammates are still trying to get the Cypher down. The Archer being around the area is not the one that you want to kite, but 3 members very close gets the hook.
Okay,
you gotta get a hit though. Yeah, there we go.
There we go. He got a hit. He got a hit. That's nice. That's nice. At least at this point in time, the Cyphers are pretty nicely primed. 88%, 68%, and 79%. As most of the hunters, they are pretty much on their way to see what they can do. Wait. Almost. Oh, pretty good. Wait, 100% hook accuracy right now, right?
66%.
66. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He landed 2 out of 3. So there we go. For 3 Cyphers already primed. All 5 Cyphers are going to be done. But DS, can he get his first elimination? Can he get his first survivor on the rocket chair? Oh no! Getting the hook in that pallet area. Now currently at 50%.
It's okay, he learned something. He learned that the hook actually does help him traverse around now. because he what he did was actually got a little bit too close, or rather he hit the obstacle and then he flew straight to it. So I think right now he should have a pretty good idea what he's capable of with when it comes down to the hooks. So right now, the more he walks, the more he's gonna lose it, and there we go! Another hook down, but unfortunately Sexy immediately turns around and lands a shot right onto the side of DS.
Yeah, this is going to be a 4SKP game coming out from the side of Team Singapore. Does get a hit through, but not going to matter in the grand scheme of things.
What's the priestess though?
Yeah, he's been teleporting around, just looking at DS. We saw a glimpse of the priestess just now, and yeah, just going straight for the dungeon.
Go for it, yes. Go for it. Catch this priestess. Take him down.
There's no way. The gate is right there. Yeah,
dungeon.
4-0 coming out.
Okay.
Pretty good game that's coming out from DS.
Pretty good game, actually.
Two hooks. Not too bad.
Wow. Honestly, oh man, I feel for him because I feel like this is his calling. Gamekeeper might actually be his calling, right? He's got pretty neat hooks. He got a couple of good shots. You can tell that he's pretty happy about this because I'm happy about this as well.
Yeah, I mean, I would be satisfied, right? Landing a few hits on experienced players. Like, you talk to me like, oh, these guys are pros. These guys are so good at playing the game. And then suddenly, I land a hit, I land a hook on the mercenary, the one that's supposed to be side-hiding me. Yeah, I'm gonna be happy about that.
Oh man, it did not really pan out the way that Team Sri Lanka wanted, such as getting themselves like a single knockdown or perhaps even a win. But I think that this is a step closer to being able to play Identity V on a different level now for the members of Team Sri Lanka. But you know, one thing about this entire event is that Team Sri Lanka may have walked away with not a single win to their name, but I think that through the experiences that they had here, I'm pretty sure that they might actually go back home and take a lot more time to play Identity V and be in preparation for what could be coming in the future.
Yeah, the development arc is going to go crazy, right? There's going to be
winners and there's learners.
Yeah, there's winners and there's learners. So there's going to be a huge training arc coming out from inside of Team Sri Lanka. The next time that they come here, they might be a totally different beast. So there might be a lot of preparation being done in the back scenes.
So make sure every single one of you guys that is watching this, look out for DS. He might be the one that will shake the meta with a gamekeeper.
Currently, he has the best stats.
5 hits.
5 hit survivors for DS. This is the best game that he has had so far. But it's a long way of improvement, right? From day 1, chasing Laos in a singular loop. Day 2, learning about throwing the harpoon even on the Naya as well.
Yeah.
And afterwards,
now
evolving into a goat man?
Yep, he managed to pick up a goat man, and then this is technically another. Okay, we'll call him Moose Man for this one as well. So he played a goat man, he played a moose man as well. So there is definitely a nice, unique number of hunters that DS has went for. This is the most amount of survivors that he has managed to hit, as such, allowing him to hit first presence.
Yeah, so the decoding progress, of course, very cut and clear standard, very good kite coming out from the side of CW. At the same time, he did get hooked twice, which is a win for DS, I would say, but Team Singapore really played that extremely well towards the end, having the archer and the mercenary available for that final kite into that gate, and the escape dungeon being used towards the end as well.
So with that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the first match of the day done and dusted. We do have the upcoming game for you guys, and that is gonna be Team China versus Team Laos, where we saw that Team China had been cruising their way through, while Team Laos, they had their ups and downs, especially since their last match against Team Vietnam, which really shook them quite a bit.
Yeah, they are very closely tempered in terms of that match presence, right? When Team Vietnam versus Team Laos, there was a very even game, and Team Laos has really good hunters as well. SST, very good on that opera singer, I would say. In Chinatown, his presence was really good. At the same time, we saw that, yeah, they have very good survivor strats, just that Team Vietnam had a very, very good hunter. Alpha Man, in that last moment, turn the game around.
There is definitely a lot that we can expect from the upcoming game between China and Vietnam. So I think, you know what, at this point in time, I think it's really nice for it will be nice for us to kind of understand how the stakes is gonna be for either of these two teams, right? So for Team China at this point in time, they have played a total of, I believe, 4 games. Let me double confirm. Yes, total of 4 games. They won against every single one of the people in Group C, leaving Vietnam being the last member left. While in the meantime, for the side of Team Vietnam, they played every single game but against Team Singapore. Against Hong Kong, China, they lost one. They lost one game against Team China. Wait, hold on. Yeah, Vietnam. Sorry. I'm supposed to be looking at Laos. My bad. So Laos, they won a game against Sri Lanka, and then they lost a game against Singapore. They lost against Hong Kong, China as well. They also lost against Team Vietnam. So quite a bit of losses to their name. So it might be a very difficult run for them.
Yeah, there's no way I don't think they get into that top 3 seed.
I doubt so, yeah.
Yeah, but we'll find out later as we will be setting up the game for you guys, Team China versus Team Laos, but we are going for a short break while the players need time to get ready as well. So we'll see you guys shortly after the break.